Located at 345 Lancaster Avenue in Richmond, Kentucky, is a historic home that we call Irvinton. Built in 1820, it has fascinating history. It has served as a private residence, a hospital, a library, and more. Presently, Irvinton is open to the public and houses the Richmond Tourism offices and Richmond's only museum.
You'll notice the Bluegrass Trust for Historic Preservation symbol just outside the Irvinton's front door. This symbol shows that Irvinton is recognized as a very special historic structure in our community and that it should be valued and preserved for future generations.
Irvinton, one of Richmond, Kentucky's most beautiful and historic homes, was built by Dr. Anthony Wayne Rollins in 1820. Just 9 years later, Rollins sold the home along with 15 acres of land to Colonel David Irvin for $6,000.
David Irvin above me was the second owner of Irvinton. He was our second county clerk. His father, William Irvin, was our first county clerk. They were both colonels in the United States Army. David Irvin married Susanna Hart McDowell, who was the daughter of Ethan McDowell and the granddaughter of Isaac Shelby, Kentucky's first and fifth governor. The most interesting story that I've heard about the Irvin family is the fact that they were so politically connected. There was not another family in early Kentucky life that had so many political connections as the Irvin, and I always found it to be very interesting that we had the connection with Irvin, Kentucky, that William Irvin was actually who it was named after.
In 1857, David and Susan Irvin gave Irvinton to their second child, Elizabeth S. Irvin. Born in 1829, the same year as the Irvins purchased the house, and to Elizabeth's husband and first cousin, William M. Irvin. In spite of their prominent position in the community, the Irvin story is full of tragedy. Elizabeth and William had 5 children between the years of 1847 and 1864. The first 2 children, Susan and Addie, died of scarlet fever just a day apart when Susan was 4 years old and Addie was 22 months old. The Irvins' third child, Kate, born less than a month after her sister's deaths, lived to 8 years of age, dying of yellow fever. Following their third child's death, Elizabeth and William were understandably heartbroken. Oh, that God would reveal Christ more and more each day to my soul. Thou hast called our darling Katie to thyself, O Heavenly Father, and to thee we lift up our souls for comfort and hope. Willie, the fourth child, and the Irvins' only son, lived to the age of 3, perhaps dying of cholera. The fifth child, Bessie, lived to the age of 19. Bessie died in 1883 while away at school in New York, a victim of typhoid fever. William Irvin died in 1891, leaving his wife, Elizabeth, a widow and childless. Elizabeth Irvin was the last Irvin to reside at Irvinton, living another 29 years and dying in 1920.
Mrs. Irvin left a 38-page will, as you can see here, that talked about various different things that she wanted to happen with Irvinton. Her heirs contested the will in 1920 when she passed away because they didn't like the things that were happening with it. It became a hospital in 1927, and it did have an infectious disease, which her will said you could not do. They continued to contest the process for 53 years, even after the city took over in 1950. And if you want to read more about it, come by and get a copy of the will anytime. It's interesting reading. Irvinton was used as a hospital after Mrs. Irvin's death in 1920. In 1927, it became one of 3 federal trachoma hospitals. You can notice these pictures here on the wall show you what it looked like while it was a hospital. 11,000 patients were treated here until trachoma was completely eradicated in 1950. Irvinton is used as the welcome center for the city of Richmond. We moved here in 1998 and we service all visitors that are traveling up and down I-75.